Hey guys, so yes, I am actually doing my very first makeup palette collection declutter video, and this is going to be purely eyeshadow palettes for right now. And I'm going to go ahead and do a quick disclaimer. If you do not like these type of videos, do not click on them and watch them. This is my hobby, this is my passion, this is my artistic outlet. I love eyeshadow. I love makeup. Nobody in their right mind should, of course, own this many eyeshadow palettes. But like I said, it's what I love, and I love eyeshadows, and it's my money, and I think I can spend it on how I want to. So yeah, now that we have that out of the way, let's get into the declutter. So I am going to be doing for now this section like small eyeshadow palettes, mainly my first top drawer eyeshadow palettes that are smaller that I reach for the most, and I will be right back and talk about this section. Hey guys, so I'm back and I am going to be showing you some of my eyeshadow palettes, decluttering, and right now we're just starting with the small stuff, and I'm starting with my Monochromatic eyeshadow palettes from ColourPop. And let me just tell you, I'm not getting rid of any of those, but I will be showing you the inside of them. And let me just go ahead and start with Main Squeeze. And I just love the red tones in here. ColourPop does have some amazing quality eyeshadows for the price. And this, I love peachy pink shades. And this gold. This is like a gold, the Juicy Fruit shade right here. This is like a gold pinky peach shift. These are so pretty. And that matte red, the really bright one, Like It's Hot. This is a really nice matte red. Ooh, that's bright. Bright, bright, bright. So pretty. I love ColourPop so much. They just have some really great eyeshadows. Now for the Orangey Glad palette. I love that glitter shade. I know a lot of people don't like pressed glitters, but I love pressed glitters. That is an unpopular opinion of mine. And oh my gosh. And here's another orangey peach shade. And do these look similar? No, this is the Squeeze Me shade right here. And this right here is the Tangerine Dreams. I mean, those are, see, it's overexposing my thing. But yeah, so stunning, so gorgeous. I love shades like that. And a lot of people lost their mind over the Aha Honey palette because nobody, I don't think, has a yellow palette. And this is a really pretty gold glitter, like yellow gold glitter as well. Some of the shades, I like it. I don't reach for it too much. But some of these are just stunning. Like Sunburst and Dandy. Really pretty golds and yellows. mean, you can't go wrong. And they are, like I said, pretty good priced. They retail for $12, and if you add a discount, like a discount with them, it's like $10. So, I mean, you can't beat it. Just my luck, this is probably one of my favorites. I used it yesterday, and I came up with a gorgeous look from this. There is a gold in this shade, in this palette. There are a couple of golds, but it kind of does make sense because, I mean, greens and golds do go really, really well together. I'm going to try not to swatch everything just because we'll be here forever. Meant to Be is another one of my favorites. I use it all the time. This shade, Mojito Mommy, and Mint Tea. Gorgeous shades. And this silver right here is really pretty. It's almost like a silvery green, and you don't see that very often, in my opinion. The Ooh La La palette. I do have a playlist of most of these palettes. I do have some videos on these palettes, and I will try to link them down below. Oh, here's another like kind of goldy pinky shift shade. And this is the Ooh La La palette, which is actually a lot more purple than the purple palette. But Lilac You a Lot. Yeah, the Lilac You a Lot is definitely more purple than the purple palette. I love this palette. It's My Pleasure. Earthshine is one of my favorites. There's already a dip in Earthshine. And I have a full size of that as well. Smoke Show. This one I don't get a lot of use out of, but I do use this black a lot when I want a really good black. Let's do it. And these silvers are, I just have to swatch. That is blinding. And this is really pretty too. Those are really nice shimmers. The Blue Moon palette also gets a lot of use from me. I have a video, you can tell. I mean, it's been dipped in pretty good. I use this when I don't really know what to do, and blue looks are usually my go-to looks when I just want to throw something on. And I will grab this and do like a few matte shades in the crease and pop a shimmer on the lid. And that is an inner corner, and you're good to go. Okay, now I have another stack of ColourPop palettes. The Good Sport. This, I love Good Sport. It has some amazing shimmers. I really, for some reason, I am not a neutrals girl. We all know that. I go for bright blues and greens and oranges and reds and purples and all of that. Pretty much every color of the rainbow. But I have been lusting over the Natasha Denona gold palette, and I don't know why. And I swatched it one time in Sephora, and those golds and those two pops of blues, I'm like, I want that palette. Why would I drop that much of a price tag for one like boring neutral palette? I don't know, but I'm like lusting over that palette. And actually these two golds, like with this and the, with this, if you think about it, and the Just My Luck palette, I honestly do not need that palette, but will I get it in the future? Who knows? These are actually really good palettes to pair off. And you have the Natasha Denona gold palette with these two, to be honest. But anyways, this is a Good Sport palette, not going anywhere, keeping. This is just a random like mini Z palette full of Makeup Geek and Urban Decay shadows. There's like one MAC single shadow in there. This is another cute little mini Z palette from ColourPop, or magnetic palette, I should just say magnetic palette from ColourPop, and it's with the cute little butterflies. I love this packaging, and it has all of like my inner corner shifty shades. Some are from Kat Von D Alchemist palette, some are from Makeup Geek, some are from ColourPop. So I'm not getting rid of this because I do use this. Then we have the Sailor Moon ColourPop palette. I need to do another video on this. I did actually like the bright shades that were in this. Yes, I keep it in the packaging because it's Sailor Moon. And I grew up on Sailor Moon and loved Sailor Moon, and my friends and I thought we were Sailor Scouts, and yeah. But I actually did love this bottom row in this shade. I haven't tried the glitter yet, surprisingly. What is wrong with my light? But I really did enjoy this little palette. And now for the big boy. This is my big magnetic palette with the butterfly on it. I just love this packaging. And I forgot to show you the back of this little one. I don't know if they still have this on their website, but I don't know if ColourPop is even selling things right now, because it looks like almost all of their single eyeshadows are sold out and they're not restocking. So I don't know if it's because of COVID or if they're doing something new or what, but this is full of my pressed glitters. And it's so bright, it's like, and you know, look at that, oh my gosh, that's perfect. But you know me and my glitters, I absolutely love them. Love, love, love. Not go, this, you can pry that from my cold dead hands, okay? Let's just say that. All right, on to random smaller eyeshadow palette sets that aren't in a collection and are just like standalone palettes. This is my only Huda Beauty palette. I'm not getting rid of it, even though some of the shimmer shades do give me a little bit of problems and they hit really, really hard pan, as you can tell. But the mattes are pretty good. I like the mattes, and this does not hit hard pan. I don't know what kind of magic, but this gold, I mean, that sparkle, it's glitter, but it's really pretty. It's not a pressed glitter, but it's glitter. So this is the neon green palette. I do want to collect these because I do enjoy that, so that's not going anywhere. I keep forgetting this is a declutter, so I need to. This one, the Too Faced Razzle Dazzle Berry eyeshadow palette, I do like it. And it does smell really good, but I don't know, how's this purple? This is what it looks like for those of you who have never seen it, which I'm sure you have. I'm pretty sure that matte could be built up. I think I've done a video on this. I'm not sure. I'm gonna keep it and play around with it, and plus the packaging is so cute. I do love the blushes from this line, and I am planning on collecting the blushes from this line of Too Faced. I'm not a real Too Faced person. Like, their eyeshadows have never wowed me, but I do have a couple of their palettes that I really do like. Marc Jacobs. I have one Marc Jacobs palette, and this was on sale last year before the whole coronavirus hit and I was in Florida. The time where we used to be able to travel. But I got the Electric palette. I mean, this packaging alone is gorgeous. And then I am keeping this. but this is what sold me, these shades right here. And even the neutral colors are really nice. This is a really nice black. I think I did use this in a video as well, so I am keeping that. Okay, this is Dose of Colors, the Snow Angels palette. I do really like this palette. I have a few dips in here. The blues mostly, these two shades, these like blend by themselves. I really do like this palette. It's not going anywhere. I'm keeping this. The majority of these I'm keeping right now. Like I said, this is a collection slash declutter. It's not a ruthless declutter, but it's a declutter. This is the Signature Galaxy Ofra palette. Little mini. I haven't really used this to its full potential yet, but those are just stunning colors. I have used this as an inner corner highlight. This is Pillow Talk, I think. Oh no, it's not. Neptune or Stellar. It's either Stellar or Neptune, but it looks like Pillow Talk to me. This shade, it does hit hard pan, but it is pretty blinding. It's a shifty pink, but it's a little bit chalky. But I'm going to play around with this and hopefully do a video on this in the future. Okay, Certify. This is the Affinity 2 palette. This is not going anywhere. I use this frequently. You can kind of tell there are a few brush marks in a lot of the shades. I mean, that is a dream. I need to leave this out and play with it because I haven't played with it in a hot minute, but I do love that palette. These two I love. When I do makeup looks with these palettes, I feel like a makeup artist. I'm like, I did that. I'm posting that on Instagram and on TikTok. I have the Exotic Peacock by Pinky Rose Cosmetics. And as you can see, especially that blue shade, there's like I don't know if you can tell, but there's a really big dip in that one. But I love this palette so much. And the Bright Lights palette by Pinky Rose. Again, major dips even in that glitter right there. And that glitter is also really pretty. I need to play around with that glitter. But I love the bright colors in this one. So yeah, those I am definitely keeping, and I will be right back to get some more eyeshadow palettes and discuss them with you guys. Okay, let's start off with some small random Urban Decay. And this one is the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics palette. And I remember when this really got popular because it was rose gold everything. And I have used this quite a bit because I remember I was trying to hit pan on some shades. And the quality of this, actually, it is pretty nice. Those are pretty nice mattes. Oh. Well, they're pretty nice. I don't know. Should I rotate this and play with it? You know what? I'll put this in the maybe pile because I'll start keeping a maybe pile. So we're getting somewhere. I have a maybe pile. This one I'm not getting rid of just because of nostalgia. I don't know if anyone remembers this. This was one of my very first like high-end palettes that I got in high school, and I felt I mean, I used this thing to death. My favorite colors to wear, I wore this in the crease. I would wear Ransom in the crease and, well actually no, I would wear Zero in the crease, Ransom in the crease, and pop this on the lid or one of those blues. And this is so old. I'm keeping this, and plus I love the packaging. Sorry about the mirror, but the packaging is pretty cool. But I'm keeping this because this reminds me of high school days. I love it. This one is like, actually this is my very first one, the wallpaper palette. I don't know if anyone remembers this, but as you can see, Grind. This is a liquid glitter eyeliner now. Grind was a full-size eyeshadow, and they had it in a few of their mini eyeshadow palettes, and this one I used to death as well. So I'm not getting rid of this just because, I mean, this is old. This is beat up and old. I think I traveled with this. Look at how dirty and wrinkly this is. This is what the back looks like. So yeah, I can't get rid of that. I just can't get rid of it. This one is just one of their tins that they used to do. And I have a few of their singles in here. I might I might depot these and get rid of the tin, but the tin is pretty too, but yeah, I don't know. When I look at the tin, it doesn't really bring me any joy anymore. So I'm definitely thinking about popping these in one of my Z palettes and getting rid of the tin. So, because it's big and bulky, and yeah. So I am going to go on to some other old stuff. This is a Sephora, a really old Sephora eyeshadow palette. It's so dusty and old. I just keep these for also nostalgia. I mean, look, you can tell that this was loved by me because of the blue, and the silver is like almost not gone, but like major pan. That's all I would wear was glitter and shimmer, and I never liked mattes, and I still don't, but some of the matte formulas today are a lot better than what they used to be back then. Another random like ColourPop thing. This is full of my, I'm thinking about decluttering this actually, because I just don't reach for these. This was in the NYX Metals eyeshadow palette, and I think I might just get rid of these because I don't use them. So I am going to, I have a bag, I have a Tarte bag, the Sleep, Slay, Repeat, and I'm going to put eyeshadows that I don't want in here. So next is my Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm not getting rid of this because it has greens in here that I like. I did have the purple one, and I kind of regret it, but I tried to depot it and put it in a Z palette, and it didn't work out. I'm thinking about repurchasing it, but I have a lot of purple stuff, so I'm not going to repurchase it, but I am going to keep this and not try to depot it. So okay, Viseart. This is the Editorial Brights pigment palette. There's a purple shade in a Z palette because I'm planning on panning that for the 101 eyeshadow pan palette or pan project. But yeah, this is the, I'm not getting rid of this, as you can see, or I don't know if you can tell, but I do use this frequently. I use it a lot, and the eyeshadows are amazing. Okay, the Radioactive palette from Melt Cosmetics. I just got this, and I'm not getting rid of it. I love these shades so much. This is the mini controversy palette from Jeffree Star. Not getting rid of this. I depotted a shade because I am planning on hitting pan on that as well. But this is the mini controversy. And Miscellaneous Cosmetics, the Witchcraft palette, I'm not getting rid of because, I mean, look at that packaging. It's gorgeous. And so are the eyeshadows. This one I dropped because I was so close to getting it to my room, but I tripped and almost fell, and the eyeshadow palette fell out of my hands, and this baby fell, and I had to repress it. But look at that shade. That shade is gorgeous. The Magic shade. It's one of those like red, blue, brown pigments. I'm thinking about MAC because MAC, you know, had the famous blue-brown pigment that everyone loved. Keeping this. Okay, let's go to Violet Voss. I love the Violet Voss Rainbow palette. I use this all the time. And it is an all shimmer palette, so it's right up my alley, and I'm not getting rid of this. I absolutely love it. The Flamingo palette. I bought this at, most of my Violet Voss stuff at IMAX in 2017. And I don't really use this palette that often, but I need to put it in my rotation and use it because some of these shades in here are really, really pretty. Okay, down to the wire in this section. Oh, this is the Violet Voss hashtag palette. Not getting rid of this. I do use this one a lot. This is part of my rotation and part of my Pan 101 eyeshadows. As you can see, some of the shades do have a pretty good, like this one and this one have been used a lot, and these two, and like this section over here has been used a lot. So I do like this palette. All right, you know what? Let's start with Tarte first. This one, this is the Make Believe in Yourself palette, and it's kind of annoying, the packaging, and I saw someone pan the whole eyeshadow palette. I forget who it was, but I've been binge watching other people's like project pan and pan those eyeshadows and pan that palette, and she panned this whole entire eyeshadow, like finished the whole thing, and I was kind of inspired to do the same thing, but I don't know. Yeah, and ew, that's not very good. Oh, well, actually, I don't know. I'll keep it and see. This is not going to be very ruthless. The Tarte Pro palette. I bought this when my collection was really, really growing because all I used to have was MAC and Urban Decay. And this was one of my very first like big eyeshadow palettes, and some of these do have a pretty good dent in it. I do like this eyeshadow palette, and it still smells pretty good, and I love the shade Trendy right here. I don't know if you can tell. I'm going to try and hit pan on a couple of shades in this eyeshadow palette, so I am going to be keeping that. This palette I am still trying to rotate through and hit pan on. This is the Young Wild and cruelty free, but it's actually called the Unleashed palette. It's pretty cool because it shifts. It's like a 3D thing. And I made some pretty decent dips in it. I used this for like a month. It was so reflective and annoying. I'm sorry, guys. I used this for a month and I'm trying to hit pan on these two shades. These shades are so pretty. These blues are really, really pretty. Oh, wow. Yep. I'm not getting rid of, I'm seeing like the glitter in these. These are so pretty. I actually bought this palette for the blue shades and it still smells like vanilla. Now for the original like little Tarte palettes, the Tartelette in Bloom palette. I, for some reason, loved this palette and I hit pan on this shade and I was like, well, I hit pan on one shade, I might as well keep going. And I don't know if you can tell, but there are some major dips in these shades. And I am planning on hitting pan on these two shades. I do like this little neutral palette. It's nice. As you can see, it broke because I did travel with it. And it's a nice little neutral palette. I have the original Tartelette. And my mom used to love this palette, and she used, as you can see, all of the names have wiped off. And the Tartelette Toasted palette, this is probably my least used. Oh no, I used quite a bit of this one as well. I just haven't used it in a while. But I do like my Tarte palettes, so those are staying. Okay, now we're gonna go on to MAC Cosmetics. I have these little stacks. They're like, I don't know what collection this is from, but they have quite a few. And some of them are still available. I have the Fashion Fanatic. This is the pinky purpley one. And I do still use these. The Rockin' Rebel, of course, it's a green and blue with a little bit of silver. And you have these like really big, they're not real blinding highlighters. Like, see, when I swatch them, they're kind of subtle, but I mean, it's a nice subtle highlighter. And then the classic Cutie. This is a like pastel-y pink. Let's see that highlighter. Oh, that one's nice. A pinky. I need to play with these more. This is the Basic Bitch palette. Just some gray, like burgundy shadows in that one. Then we have Juvia's Place. I will show you. I do have the Magic and the Nubian 2 palettes, but I depotted those and put those in Z palettes. But I do have a lot of their 9-pan palettes. So this is the Dose palette. I don't know what it's called. Love these shades. This as a highlight is so pretty. That green is stunning. And Butte Bean, I think, used this as a blush, and I use it as a blush because I do everything that Butte Bean does. But I loved this as a blush, actually. It works very well for fair skin. And this is the Saharan 2 palette. I love the colors of the packaging on this. You guys saw me do a video using every single shade in this palette, and I love this palette. Oh, I actually used, I'm not even going to try to pronounce the names because I don't want to be offensive, but I used this as a highlighter, and oh my gosh. Look at that. That is a perfect pale friendly gold. It reminds me of Marshmallow from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sugar Glow Kit. So if you can't afford that, this is a great dupe for it, actually. Then we have the Tribe. Look at that lime green. Love this palette. Sorry. Blinding. The Warrior 3 palette, you guys saw me do an inspired look of this art on the front cover. And I love these blues. I love this like purpley blue silver. It's not a multi-chrome, but it almost acts like one because it has so many different colors. And then the Zulu palette is also in my rotation this year. The Zulu palette. I love the artwork on this too. I love the artwork on all of them. As you can see, the green one has a major dip in it, and so does the, not major, but the orange and the yellow did get a lot of love from me when I used this one for a couple of weeks. Anyway, I used this for a couple of weeks in one of my rotations, and I really did love using this for those 2 weeks. Okay, now we're going on to Urban Decay, Anastasia, and more Too Faced. The more palettes that I do use frequently and everything. So this is the Urban Decay Jean Michael Basque. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I bought this mainly for the packaging. I did use this for a couple of weeks when I got it, and I do like the colors, and I am going to keep this because slight nostalgia, and I do like the packaging, and I do like the colors in this. I just need to rotate it more and use it more. So I am keeping that. This, of course, is really nostalgic, and this is the Electric palette. I'm not getting rid of this. I am doing this. This is part of my 101 eyeshadows to pan, and I am planning on hitting pan on Fringe and Urban. These two, and Freak. So these three I am planning on hitting pan on this year. Hopefully I'll make it. The Urban Decay Naked 1 palette, I think we all know what it looks like. Mine is slightly not new, but it's definitely not new now because this is part of my 101 pan, and I have hit pan on both Naked and Buck, and I am almost there on Virgin, and I am not getting rid of this. I do still like the quality of this, and I use these two as highlights for the face, but I do like this palette, and I use these as my eyebrow color. Ugh, there's a big huge spider outside my window. Thank God it's not in here. Then we have the Naked 2 palette, and I am again.
Whoa. Okay.
Oh, there goes that. You guys just saw that happen. I'll hold it like this. So that just fell all over my floor. But I did hit pan on YDK, and I'm planning on hitting pan on these two, and these three. Like these two and this one, the one that just fell. But I think I'm keeping all of my Urban Decay. Now we have the Naked Smoky, which I did hit pan on 13. This is back when I used to set my eyeshadow primer with the powder. I don't really do that anymore, but I am planning on hitting pan on Smolder. This isn't a pan video, so I don't know why I'm telling you guys this, but I'm keeping this. And the Naked Heat palette. I love the Naked Heat palette. I love Ember. As you can see, there's a major dent in Ember. I use it on my lips a lot over a black liquid lipstick or a brown liquid lipstick. And I love these shades over here. So I'm definitely keeping this palette. Next, Anastasia. The Modern Renaissance palette. It's dirty and filthy. I think we all hate this packaging. But I am making major progress with this palette, so I'm not getting rid of it. Subculture. This is, again, part of my project pan, and I am making a few dips in a few shades, so... And I do actually love the quality of this palette. I think the drama surrounding this palette was, most of it was probably fabricated, and yeah, I don't like that. So, the Norvina palette, you guys have seen, this is definitely, I'm still using this, and I am making progress with the pan. This is well loved. I'm not getting rid of this, the Norvina. Riviera, not getting rid of. This is also part of my panning rotation. Okay. Now, I might actually, the gingerbread palette. I am keeping the gingerbread. This, oh, it just smells so good. It doesn't smell like gingerbread. It just smells like that regular vanilla chocolatey type scent that Tarte and Too Faced has. But the shades in here are pretty. I'm not getting rid of this one. This one kind of scares me a little bit because this is the chocolate gold palette. And I don't know if you guys can see, but on the mirror, can you guys see that weird, like, yellow sticky stuff? And it's kind of forming around the eyeshadows too. I don't know if you can tell, but like, see, it's kind of, there's some weird sticky stuff forming around it. I mean, it still smells good, but I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. I don't use it. I have a bunch of other tones like this, so this is going in the bag. I don't like the way that it smells, that it looks. It's just weird. So that's a success. I'm getting rid of that one.